Hi, I'm Charles Cadell, and welcome to a K12Press Solutions Webmaster Hub video tutorial on how to install WordPress and configure it for a multi-site network. Multi-site network creates a hierarchy of sites with subsites, so you can create a overall district website and then multiple campus websites underneath that district website in order to handle everything from a central point of view of changing plugins or updating WordPress or any updates. WordPress multi-site network allows you to be able to have centralized control over all those subsites underneath. Each subsite is their standalone website, and that means that something that goes wrong on potentially one campus website doesn't affect all the other subsites, but it is held underneath the umbrella of a district school website that kind of dictates and has that centralized control. However, a lot of you may not even need a multi-site network. Your school districts may be small enough to where you don't necessarily need individual websites for each campus underneath that district, but just web pages or landing pages for each of those campuses. That's a much easier process, but either way, it's fairly easy to do a multi-site network. And to get started, really you're going to choose your host where you want to install WordPress, and 99% of the hosts that I've worked with in the past have a one-button install for WordPress. It makes it really easy. The main thing you want to do is make sure that you're paying attention to where they don't allow you, some of them don't allow you to actually turn on the multi-site network capabilities of WordPress. So you want to read and make sure that you still have those abilities. To turn it on, it's very easy. I'll be showing you that as well. But most of them will have a WordPress installation that allows you to do a multi-site network, or they'll actually have a separate installation like AWS, which I use, for a multi-site network. But really, using Amazon LightSail, AWS is the feature that I use for K12Press and for all of K12Press websites, and each website runs on its own instance. LightSail is basically its own VPS. It's being able to launch virtual private servers, makes it where it's really easy to back up and redeploy if you need to, and it makes scalability much easier. So for those websites that get a lot of traffic, you're able to scale out those website servers easy. So I'm going to take a look at creating a new instance here, and really down here, if you'll see that we're going to run it on a Linux and Unix environment, and you have WordPress for a one-stop installation, but you also have WordPress multi-site. So this is one of those places that actually shows you a difference between the two, and we're just going to install WordPress multi-site using this here and get it started. So we're just going to pick a WordPress multi-site, and we're going to go down here and choose the instance plan. Now here's the thing. You can go down to $3.50 a month for your server, depending on how much traffic you're going to get. I've worked with school websites or school districts that have had anywhere from the $10 per month to the $160 per month, to where we were having hundreds of thousands of visitors every month. But for getting set up and deployed, here's the cool thing. You can set this up on the cheapest version and then extend, when you're ready to go live, extend and expand that to being able to deploy your stuff on a much larger sized virtual private server. So we're just going to start with this one right there at $5 a month, and we're going to call this XYZ Demo. And we're not going to tag it with anything. We're just going to click Create Instance, and we're going to let it do its magic, and there we go. We now have a XYZ demo WordPress site that's already set and running. So we're going to give it a few minutes. It takes a few minutes for it to populate, and then you can go in and it'll fire off the WordPress keys for you. It'll send it to your email, and you'll be able to get started where you can create templates in your Divi Builder, All that is made much easier with the K12Press plugin library. So the first thing we'd do is install that and then go through and start setting up the individual websites and then populating the site with content. But let's take a look and see what it's like if you have to actually toggle on making the WordPress site a multi-site network on your own. So we've installed WordPress now on DreamHost, another server or hosting provider that has a one-button WordPress install. However, this one has a general one-button WordPress install. It has a specific server set up for WordPress on an Nginx server. Works great, but unlike AWS, you do have to toggle on whether or not you're going to use a multi-site network. In order to do that, you just have to go into your file editor and go to your WP config file. Where you'll find that is in the root folder, and just go down here to WP config, and then you would edit that. Here's your config file here. We're going to scroll down, and right before it says that's all, or stop editing, happy blogging, we're going to enter in this little line of code. It's define, open parentheses, the little quote there, WP underscore allow underscore multi-site, close the quote, comma, true, close parentheses, and then your semicolon. That line there is all you need to be able to unlock a multi-site network. With that now as a multi-site network, we can actually log in and go over to the demo site and see what that adds to the website itself. Alright, so now we're at the XYZ demo, and we have the WordPress multi-site network configured to true. So we're going to go to Tools and then Network Setup. And this is where you're going to set up all the subsites underneath your network features. So it's warning us to make sure we deactivate the plugins, and we can go through and deactivate all plugins and then go through the prompts of setting it up. So it's going to have you set up your main website, which would be your school district website, and then it'll let you define all the subsites underneath there. Then what you would do once you have the sites set up is you would make sure you have all the plugins that you want for each site activated, which would be the K12Press plugin library to start with. Once you have that updated for every website, then you're just going to go through and configure each site individually, meaning that you'll install the templates and you're going to create, your main district template, and you can install one from K12Press, and then you'll have separate campus, and they may look a little bit different on each campus template, but if they look pretty much the same, make sure that once you've created your campus template in Divi, that you export that theme so that you can import that theme. Again, like and subscribe, K12Press Solutions on YouTube. If you're working on a school's website, campus website, district website, this will be a wealth of information for you. Thank you and have a great day.